In this video, I'm going to share lots of different ideas to increase learner engagement through writing activities. So there's many ways that learners can write when they're learning from you, either in your video course or your live online learning event where everyone's gathered at the same time. If you are an instructor, a trainer, a facilitator, and you're teaching online, you'll want to hear about these many ways that you can ask learners to write and help them learn more and gain more from the activities. Writing is a way that learners can review the content, personalize the content, set future goals. There's so many different ways to use writing to enhance the learning and reinforce the learning. And the ideas that I'm going to share, some of them work really well for live virtual events where everyone's in the same room at the same time. And other ideas will work if someone's just watching your video course that you created and they're sitting all by themselves and watching. So I've got tons of ideas to share. So this first very short list is when you're teaching in an online platform such as Zoom or Microsoft Teams, there are two main places that you can have people write that are a part of the platform, and that is the chat feature and also whiteboards. Now this next category will work if the people are meeting all together in an online platform like I just talked about, and also for those people who are individually watching a video course that you've recorded. And all of the things in this list are what I call analog writing, meaning not digital. So the previous list was digital, the chat and the whiteboard. This is analog, meaning the throwback to how we used to write. So the first idea is just to get plain paper. Ask people to find any paper that they have available and write something on a piece of paper. Or for a really long type of course, you might ask people to purchase a notebook or a journal that they're going to use for that entire course. So you're going to say, find a place in your journal and write down the answers to these questions. Another idea for analog writing is to create some type of worksheet or a whole workbook, and you send it to people digitally, and then they need to print it out and use it either in a live class or while they're watching a video recorded class. Another way to ask learners to write analog is to ask learners to gather some sticky notes or buy the sticky notes. And this can be like just a quick write activity. Maybe you are teaching about online marketing. So you ask your learners, what's the most common hashtag you're using when you're trying to market your product? Write that down on a sticky note, and now everyone hold it up to the camera so we can see it. One way to really increase learner engagement and get your learners talking to each other and exchanging ideas is to use some type of group communication. And there's tons of ways to do this. You could have people writing in a Facebook group. You can have people writing in WeChat, WhatsApp group, GroupMe groups. There are so many new ways, new group apps that people can stay connected during an online course. Some other places to create a group are LinkedIn groups. There's Microsoft Teams, Slack, there's Viber, Mighty Networks, Discord, Signal, Telegram. There are many ways to use Google Docs when you're teaching a group of people. So if everyone's online in a Zoom platform or on Microsoft Teams, you can put a link in the chat, and then people click on the Google Doc and go to that Google Doc, and they can all be typing at the same time, and it's all going to get captured in that one document. And then everyone who's there and writing can then look at everything else that's been written at the same time. A step up from using a Google Doc would be to use some type of platform where there's a whiteboard, such as Mural or Miro. There are other boards such as Padlet, Trello. On most of the whiteboard applications that I just mentioned, people can create little digital sticky notes and stick them on the board, on the whiteboard. If you teach video courses online and people are watching those courses whenever it's a good time for them, and you're really curious about what are some of the benefits that people are getting from your courses, or what are some of the problems that they're encountering as they're trying to move forward in their learning, you can ask them to write about those in something like a type form or a Google form where they click on a link and then they type in the information. It comes to you, and then usually you can view all those answers from your students in a spreadsheet. So very quickly eyeball over that. SurveyMonkey and Survey Gizmo, and there's some other websites that are similar to that. You can go to those websites and create surveys. And some of those surveys can be written answers where people are going to write what they think. You can create the survey, create a link, and put the link in your course. And then you can look over those answers very easily in a spreadsheet type of view, so you can get some quick feedback from your learners. And they learn also when they're doing that writing, when they're reflecting on what they've learned. One way to get live instant feedback from your participants in a live meeting is to use a poll service such as Poll Everywhere or Mentimeter. In these live polling apps, you can be in a live event like a Zoom workshop and ask people to submit their answers. You can ask them to choose a multiple choice question or even write an answer, and you can display those answers live on the screen so that everyone who's in the event can see all the answers. So before you decide what kind of writing you want your students to do, think, what is your main purpose for asking the students to write? If you are just trying to get the learners engaged with your content and you don't need to know what their answers are, then that's going to inform your writing activities in one way. But if you want to both engage the learners and also get some feedback so that you know how things are going, or you know some of the questions that people have, you're getting more information from your learners, then of course you're going to want to choose something where you can easily view the answers from all those students in one easy place. If one of your goals is to connect the learners together, your students to share with each other and build ideas off of each other and collaborate, then you'll definitely want to choose a group community like a WhatsApp or a Facebook group. So be intentional about where you want your students to write and why you want them to write, and choose the writing resources that are the best fit for the topic that you teach and the type of relationship that you want to have with your students, or the type of relationship you want your students to have with each other. As I said before, this video is part of a series of videos about getting learners to engage through writing activities. So at the end of this video, you'll see 2 more videos that you can watch that are related to engaging learners with writing activities when you're teaching online. So I hope this video got your brain doing some brainstorming so that you can add a few more engagement elements to your next video course or online class that's live. I'm Kelly Pfeiffer. I will see you in the next video.